world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment clip. I'm the man here that makes it all work. Wood. Please check me out on roundbyroundboxing.com as well as bitedownboxing.com. I'm actually going to get into a little bit of bite down boxing coverage. It's Pacquiao-Thurman week. Boxing's only 8 division champion. The senator from the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao, against the current, what is this, the WBA unification title, with Pacquiao holding the regular belt and Keith Thurman with the super champion or whatever. I've been up and down on this fight. The shoulder programming for it, the PBC or Inside PBC or PBC Fight Camp, whatever it's been. Those have done pretty well for piquing my interest in the fight. I've mentioned this before. I'm a huge fan of preparation. Training camp. Getting to know how these guys get ready to go in here and perform at their at the most elite level that they can. And it's a chance to see, who's living right, who's really dedicated to being a fighter and doing all the right things leading up to fight night, to be able to compete and give themselves a true shot at the at a victory. And that's one thing here that's very impressive with 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao. It was interesting to hear that Mikey Garcia picked Manny Pacquiao to win. I believe even Sean Porter kind of threw it on there at the end of the show. Just kind of didn't seem like he had put much thought into it. Maybe he didn't want to give any credit to former opponent, Keith Thurman. I'm doing some traveling later on this week, so I guess I'm not going to try to tease my pick in this fight till later in the week, because I'm going to be on the road very early when I get up out of here. My winner, just by default, I can't see, Pacquiao, a 40-year-old guy down in the lighter weights. He hasn't been dominant in many of his these wins. I do think that he won the Jeff Horn fight. I was shocked that he couldn't put Horn away in that ninth round, that savage ninth round that he orchestrated against Horn. But the Matisse fight, I didn't see much in that. And then Broner, that didn't tell me a whole lot, as Broner didn't mount much offense and really wasn't gonna come forward and really try to bang. Here we have Keith Thurman animated and saying that predicting less than 6 rounds or 6 rounds, less than 7 rounds, somewhere in there, and actually going for it. I don't know if he'll sit there and try to trade with Manny, but like I said, Manny's just gonna have to prove me wrong at some point in time. Similar to I kind of don't want to use Paulie Malignaggi, but work with me here. If you remember, I was wondering why some individuals weren't thrashing Malignaggi, knowing that he wasn't a big puncher, and getting him out of there. And then when he ran into Porter, Porter just destroyed him. Porter had no reservations, no hesitations, no nothing. He just walked through whatever he was doing and just violently dealt with Malignaggi. Now, it's definitely not the same set of dynamics here between that version of Malignaggi and this version of Manny Pacquiao. But is the power there, that he has? I mean, Pacquiao's a guy that hasn't knocked out a lot of individuals over the last 3 to 4 years, I think. So, is good power there? Is it enough power there to make you respect him? Probably so. So, like I said, I don't know if Keith Thurman can just go out here and run out here and be reckless, and really we have a sighting of one time. I don't know if that happens or not. But over the course of the fight, I think Thurman should be able to, with his mobility, he's a guy that showed that he can use his legs all 12 rounds. He did get caught in the Josecito Lopez fight, but getting in a second fight in the same calendar year, he should be a little bit more sharper. He's also fighting. This is a chance to put a great win on his record. Oh, go out to bitedownboxing.com and check out the Sound for Sound column that I put up for this fight, talking a little bit about Keith Thurman and Ghostface Killer's new single, Conditioning. Check out that video too. Actually, I put it in the article if you haven't seen it. But yeah, I just see with all of his different tools and 10 years junior to Pacquiao, I see Keith getting it done. I would have to side that way. If I'm wrong, then we will have all seen something great Saturday night. And salute to Pacquiao, because he's one of those individuals. Sometimes I wonder about some of the non-English speaking guys and some of the non-American fighters who often just seem to have the mentality of, you give me my opponent, you point me in that direction, and I go fight. Like I'm a fighter and I go fight. Versus, and I'll get to that in a second. But the one, I guess I'll change gears real quick. The one drawback here, something that's kind of hindering my full level of interest in this fight, is that we don't know what the hell Keith Thurman intends to do if he wins, in the event that he wins. And that's kind of a bit troubling for me, because at 30 years old, being right there in proximity age-wise to Terrence Crawford, as well as Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. You would think that, and the turn in recent weeks is that he doesn't have any interest in Crawford, and then he's getting into the political stuff with looking at what Errol Spence Jr. has and hasn't achieved. And it's like, what else are you going to go do? Like, who else are you really going to go fight? I mean, if you're not trying to make these big fights to close out your career, what are you really doing here? So that is probably one aspect of this that would make me pull for Manny Pacquiao, is that I feel that he would still go out and try to seek out big fights and challenges commensurate with what his standing in the game is. Keith Thurman, again, we just don't know his commitment to boxing long term is a thing of mystery, and to see him get this victory and position himself to have another big fight, and to flippantly cast aside, some of the different individuals out there who are the obvious opponents, is a little disheartening, and adds to the frustration level that you might have in a division such as welterweight, where there's some of the best fights in the game to be made, but different factors are keeping those from happening. So, like I said, man, I don't know where I am with this fight. I do have concerns that, Manny could get in the ring and look like an older fighter, look like a fighter who should have stopped a few fights ago. That could happen on fight night. So I'm getting better at keeping these under 10 minutes, so I'm going to go on and shut this down. I always end it with, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great.